What's going on, y'all? Welcome to another Road to Results podcast where we're all about uncovering the mindset journey. I'm Rhy, that's Ray, and I'm Rhy. Either way you slice the pie. And yes, episode number 26, y'all. Come on. 26. So that tells you we are halfway through this journey. And I say, well, it has been an amazing journey nonetheless. And for those of you just rocking with us for the very first time, Ray and I are part of the UOU Mastermind under the leadership of Dr. Eric Thomas and Associates, where we are meeting weekly, daily, and more so that we can continue to grow in all the industries and all the areas of our life, in business, in family, in spiritual, in relational, and personal development. So many different pillars, and we are just documenting week by week. So if you haven't already, please make sure you check out our YouTube channel and our Facebook group, y'all, and our Facebook group so that you can, just track the results with us. Go back to episode number 1. All right, and again, I always recommend listening to us at 1.5, 1.75 speed so you can get them nuggets a little bit quicker. Get them quicker, but I think it's just a little more comical. I love hearing us because it's just always fun to watch us. But we are, again, just doing this as a tribute to Dr. Eric Thomas. Again, this is our testimony and to him and all that he's doing for his community. So what's going on, Ray? How you been, my bro?
Man, good. Missing you. Talking about making my own adjustments. Some schedule stuff has changed a little bit. Adding on more, so that we can. If you want more, you got to become more. You got to prepare for more. All that stuff. So I'm excited about today, man. Not just because of who we have coming on, but just it is truly the halftime, the midway. And it gives you an opportunity to reflect on how far we've come, and not just how far we've come, but how much further we still have to go.
Yeah, absolutely. No,
Yeah.
it's all learning, it's all growing. And speaking of learning and growing, if you are new to us on Facebook, because we are streaming live on Facebook and YouTube, please remember to give permission to Ecamm so we can bring your beautiful profile picture and name on the screen while we bring up the comments and the questions that you post. Yeah, bro, it's crazy. Halfway through, I just got back from Cancun, and then, Cancun hits different for me now. Right. So for those of you who know my wife, and I thank you to all the family who's been reaching out on Facebook, Instagram, just sharing love and prayers for me and my beautiful wife. Matter of fact, who is actually here right there, Danielle Ramirez. We just came back from Cancun yesterday. We celebrated 15 years of holy matrimony, 17 years together, 19 years that we've known each other. So the history is deep. And one of the things that I was thinking about while I was at Cancun was phenomenal life. Now that we've been to 2 phenomenal lives, Cancun will always hit different. And when I say hit different in the sense of that's where we first met, Ray and I. That's where a lot of the amazing community that we met for the first time was that phenomenal life. And so, yes, it was an amazing vacation. Yes, it was paradise. Yes, it was all inclusive. And I just love the idea. And just as I was reflecting at these all inclusive resorts it was all inclusive in so many other ways. All inclusive because you got fam with you. All inclusive because you got people who want to pour into you. So it was all inclusive, mind, body, and spirit. And so when we go to Cancun now, it's hard not to think about phenomenal life and all the phenomenal humans that we met. And it was just a reminder. I remember E.T. preaching on that rock in 22 when we was doing the morning worship service. He was on the rock, literally in his PJs. In his PJs, man, in his pajama pants, but he had his ET gear up top, in his hat, and just preaching that word, bro, and just sharing the word of God with us. Was just a special time. I remember recording a lot of that on my phone and going live to share with my daughter because she couldn't make it. And so I was like, yo, I literally held the phone for 45 minutes front row so that she could be a part of that experience. What's going on, Eva? Shout out to Eva. We got Stockton in the building. What's up, Nichelle? Nichelle is in the building representing. Janine from the Netherlands, good evening. Thank you for being with us. So 15 years, again, like I tell people, it's just work, y'all. Work. And it's making the adjustments. making the adjustments. So I'm thankful for my wife and all of the community that continues to support us, pray for us, be there for us, give us counsel, all the great examples that we look to, and we our prayer and our intention is to be an example to our daughter and those around us as well. So yeah, happy to be back though. Happy to have my Wi-Fi back. Happy to have my technology back. Happy to be on with y'all. Exactly, Eva, right there. Community. Shout out again to Eva Palacios. We got Melissa Thomas in the building, Atlanta, representing what's going on or close to Atlanta. But yeah, what say you, Ray? What's good, man? I know you got a lot of blessings. You got a lot happening on your side. So talk to us, bro. What's good?
Oh yeah, yeah, absolutely, man. I mean, it's well, one, I just want to reiterate like a point you kept saying because you were doing morning lives as you get your clarity walks in, your connection with God, that time frame, and you just kept saying, the sun does what it always does.
Come on.
The sun does what it always does every single day. The sun does, but it does what it's supposed to do, what it was designed to do. And how I heard that, man, is like, what were you designed to do? And are you getting up and doing that every single day so that you can give this planet, these people, the warmth, your purpose, your light, everything that you were designed to do? Are you getting up with purpose? Are you getting up with not just in potential, but in productivity? And one of I mean, honestly, man, like that message right there too, kind of reflected on. And I know Eva reached out to me yesterday too, just kind of checking in. And I was like, it wasn't necessary. That's why I was like, yo, I reached out today. And I was like, hey, you good, fam? I saw your message about struggle bus, whatever. And it was just really more of a reflection on where I'm at in life and looking back. And I was like, yeah, okay. Yeah, I'm a little fatigued, but it's more about the adjustment because I'm taking on more because I haven't always operated in my full capacity and my full purpose. And now that I'm taking that on, it is a bit of work, but it's an adjustment because I'll adjust as necessary to continue getting the things and the results and operating in my purpose so I can continue to feed and pour into other people. So it's
Yeah.
yeah, and it's even right there. She's like, I'll be on that struggle too, but it's like it's crazy because one of the individuals in the Telegram today was like, hey, is anybody familiar with, I don't remember, something banking? And Eva was like, yes, me. And I was like, okay. And then asking, is it Eva, you gonna be at some of these events we got coming up? And she's like, no, I've already got trips planned. So it's like we say we're on that struggle bus, but truly is we're pushing ourselves to a certain level to expand our capacity. Infinite banking, that thing. But to expand our capacity. And you can't find that until you've reached your limit, until you've reached your current limit. But you can continue to expand so that you shed more light and more warmth onto other people. But you have to push into your purpose and you have to push past those limiting beliefs and those limited. And it's just when you feel certain moments of, okay, fatigue. Okay, why am I feeling fatigued? Why am I feeling tired? Is it something that's draining me? You talk about like those energy holes and buckets. Why am I feeling this way? And you look at it, it's because I'm pushing myself into another level. I'm pushing myself into another space that I didn't even realize that that's where God had me going. But as I continue to go and as we continue to say yes, just like you said yes to answering this call, as far as we just talked about on our test live of, it was literally a dream that God wanted me to do a podcast, and you got up and you said yes, and you hit me up, and then I said, let's document this journey, and you were like, yes, and then we started doing it before we were ready, and now we're looking at doing scaling this thing, putting this thing into, okay, let's start moving this thing, like let's start pushing this thing, and bro, like be honest, man, that's not going to get any lighter.
Nope. Nope.
But
Nope.
we know
Facts.
we're saying yes to it. We're
Facts.
saying yes to it. It's going to open up opportunity. It's going to open up. When we say opportunity, like I don't care how you want to phrase it, like prosperity, relationships, opportunities for us to grow and expand. But when we say yes to that, and we start seeing, so when you start seeing a change and a transition in us or in anything that you're around, if you just stop and be like, okay, why? We're going to start doing more, and I'm going to let you know I'm probably going to have a level of of fatigue. But once I stretch myself and we get used to being in that area and space, I guarantee you and I are going to do something else.
That's it.
It's not
That's
going
it
to get
right
lighter.
there.
Both here in the R2R, but also in our own in Reach Academy and in Breaking Formation independently. Like we're going to continue to expand.
Oh, that's facts. That's
So
facts.
yeah, so you know we're at week 26 for cohort 1 in the UOU Mastermind.
Yeah, man, it's crazy.
Bruh.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. You know, when you were saying that, it was like a couple of things came to mind. Number one, our capacity for and our tolerance to growth and to ups and downs in business and mindset is definitely gotten larger. Right. So like the things that we are moving for now are tiring is because we're new terrain, because we've already developed or developing our muscles. Like I say time and time again, when we work out, our muscles tear. And as they tear, it's uncomfortable, it's painful, but it's growing back. And as it grows back, our capacity to, you know, do more and become more because we've prepared for more grows. Mind, body, spirit. And I think again, we talked about strategy earlier. Our mindsets, bro. 26 weeks in, I was, you know, perfect example as it gets harder. When I left the hospital in 2015, all right, left the hospital job, stay steady, secure, Napa Hospital, state benefits, the whole nine. I was doing well, making, you know, a pretty good salary. But to leave all of that, to just have the faith to walk away because my heart wasn't beating hard enough. My heart wasn't beating hard enough. Catch that. I left just to find out that, whoa, this was a big, I thought this was going to be the biggest leap I ever took. But actually, once you take that first leap, you start looking around and you're like, oh, wait, I got to take another one and another one and another one. And then finally you get to that point where you're so used to taking these leaps of faith and you're just taking this risk and taking these chances that it's actually not even abnormal anymore. It's not a surprise anymore. Danielle, like, okay, what's next? We're actually looking for where is the next big challenge? Where is the next big stretch? Where is the next thing that we're going to be called to do that's going to take more than just me, more than just her? It's going to take a community. So I think something, again, 26 weeks in, we've learned more and more that, oh, we came in individually for what our goals and our desires and our dreams and all those things are. But now we're seeing, again, our last episode I just dropped, collective impact. Now we're seeing collective impact, collective service. Now we're seeing what is next for us to do with other people in our community with the same mindset, with the same capacity, with the same goals, not necessarily in the same industries, but ultimately, again, just making this world a better place in the ways that we do. So I'm just really, really looking forward to what the next chapters are going to look like. Again, being midway through. And we thank y'all, all of y'all, for joining. We are waiting for our guests to come on. As soon as they are ready, we'll make sure we bring them on. And if there are any questions or things that you would like to drop in the chat, please do so. We'd love to address that. But yeah, just think about capacity. And I think about me leaving my full-time job, scariest thing, full-time work, benefits, the whole nine. But when I told my mom, and I tell the story all the time, when I told my mom about it, I thought she was going to be freaked out because she was like so happy when I got the job. You know, Filipinos, man, in nursing is like, oh, that's it. You made it. And again, not knocking that. If that's your career, I love it. I respect it. But my mom was like, finally. I was like, what? You're not mad? You're not sad that I'm leaving the hospital? She's like, no. She's like, your heart has always been with kids. Your heart has always been working, doing stuff in the church. Your heart has always been doing what you're doing, speaking. I was just waiting for you. Right? I was just waiting for you to be you. So just like you said, like the sun just shows up. The sun rises no matter what, day in and day out, no matter what the weather's like, the sun is going to keep showing up. It's just doing what it's naturally called to do. So are you doing what you are naturally called to do day in and day out, irrespective of the weather, whether the cloud, whether the skies are clear or not? Are you showing up? And I think that's something that being 26 week in this mastermind, the clarity, the drive, the motivation, the dedication, the strategies that we have now are allowing us to do just that. It's to just do what we were called to do. To do what we were called to do naturally, no matter what the circumstances are around us, no matter what's going on in our lives, no matter what's going on in our community, in our culture, in our world. Just keep showing up and doing what you are called to naturally do. And when you
Yeah.
surround yourself with that community, now it makes it more and more clear how and who and what and where and why. So yeah, bro, I'm
Very good.
excited. I'm excited
Yeah,
for the
yeah.
second half.
What's great, man, that you said forward, and it's like, okay, you say, well, you can look back so that you can move forward. It's not looking back so that you can dwell in the things that didn't work and all that other things. But it's like, you said faith of a mustard seed. Like, I'm going to plant this, and I'm going to be honest, like, I don't know. I have an idea, but I honestly don't know what this is going to grow into. I have a focus and a vision of what it's going to go. But when you have that clarity of knowing why you're doing it, you have to have that conviction to show up. You have to be convicted in the way and in the vision that God has put on you for that you to show up so that you can continue to move forward, because that clarity you have it. But if you don't have the conviction, man, it can get shaky because it doesn't ever really look like what you think it's going to look like. But if you just have that conviction, it's going to be so much more. And that's like one of the things that I've taken on, recently, of being in, the church leadership college and taking on that piece, and now starting to have to develop a curriculum with the church to help develop the mind, like you said, the refreshment, the rejuvenation of being in Mexico, like the mind, body, spirit. I'm going to be leading the piece on the personal development side for the mental aspects. Romans 12:2, be not conformed to the ways of this world. And it's funny because the whole foundation of church leadership college and our church deciding to do, our pastor deciding to do it. And he's like, I've read through the Bible fully 6 times. He goes, but I've literally skimmed over Romans 12:2 every single time. He said, recently, it wasn't until like 4 months ago that I really read that verse. And he's talking about the transformation of your mind, and that changes everything. That changes your heart. That changes your position. That changes who you are. And it's like, once you're convicted in that, how many things are you willing to do? And you have to
Come
get
on.
it here and be convicted in the vision that you have and the mind that you want to, the mindset that you need to have, but the spirit of it, because it's going to change. Like the road to the results that you think you want is going to be a lot differently versus the one that you said that you wanted. But if you're convicted and dedicated to it, it's there. And what is that, Sandy? Yeah. So no, right. So I mean, Sandy, yeah. When we first came up with the, I'm going to answer the question before our guest hops on soon. I mean, the R2R, yeah, it was a road to results, but it's also as Rhy and Ray. And then even with our summit coming up October 4th and 5th, I mean, that is the reset to relaunch. So there was multiple opportunities to it, but obviously true to who we are. That's Rhy. I'm Ray. I'm Ray. That's Rhy.
Either
Either
way
way
you
you
slice
slice
the
the
pie.
pie.
All
But
right,
but
so
we
so check this out,
go
bro.
ahead,
We
sir.
so yeah, so I just our guest said they're gonna be on in about 10 minutes. So as we're and then again once our guest comes on, we'll probably give him the rest of the half hour, whatever time that he has available. But let's just talk about this week's business development course. All right, we think about this week's development course with Anthony Flynn. It was our last session with him. And so let's just, and I loved what he was talking about today. I love the prompts that he had for all of us. So I was just curious, right? Like for all of us out there, for those of us who are in a business or are part of an organization, like the first question he threw out there was, what would if a year from now and you do what you want to do or what you're called to do, like what would the headline say about your business? What are you doing? Who are you impacting? And all of this was to talk about a purpose statement. A purpose statement. So we talked about, and he just said keep it as simple as possible. So for me, I was like, we help develop and train emotionally intelligent youth ministry leaders so that they can authentically reach and engage those they serve. And he was like, be as specific as you can. And so for those of you who are just starting out, or maybe you are in your, planning phase, or maybe you're in that confusion phase, let's start there. Purpose statement. Like, what is your purpose when it comes to who you're serving? And can you be as detailed as possible? And I loved how he talked about Lululemon. He was talking about how if you knew who the target avatar was for Lululemon, like, but you don't know. Like, it makes sense, but no one would ever know that Lululemon was targeted towards was it a male, a female, mid-20s that has disposable income. That was something that I caught when he said that has the disposable income to pay a certain amount of money, which we know is way more than the regular market, but they did that intentionally, right? But no one knows like the history or the target avatar of these people. But it goes back to that purpose statement. So I love the connection that we were learning or just being reminded of whatever we're doing and however we're moving forward. What is the purpose? Who are you serving? And then the last part, he talked about KPIs, key
Key
performance
performance ends.
indicators. So yeah, bro, let me know like what were some of your takeaways from that before we jump into that and before our guest comes on.
So let me just tell you this. I haven't watched it yet. I haven't
Okay.
watched it yet. And that's just because of okay. We'll talk about this. So understanding your purpose, understanding your why, what it is you're serving, who you're serving. Over the course of me embracing when we started the mastermind, I didn't have a coaching company,
Mm,
and now I do. And then it was like, okay, who do you want to coach? And initially, it was like, okay, I want to coach active service members and helping them build a business, a purpose, and an
yeah.
identity before they get out.
Yeah. Okay.
But we've made some adjustments. So now it's like, okay, now I'm helping people that are in transition build a purpose identity through business focus. And let me go ahead and leverage real estate as the initial vehicle to do it.
Absolutely.
And then I'm like, okay, so I keep making these adjustments, but the thing that still remains is I want to help people build a solid foundation and not use their pain and their history as an excuse to level up.
Just do it.
So
Do
we're
it.
we're still narrowing down, and then as the year has gone on, I was like, okay, let me get my master's
Yep.
in entrepreneurship, and now I'm in church leadership college to help do it from a spiritual standpoint because my spiritual development has grown.
There it is. So the pause right there. Let me put a pin on that. That's good. Because as we're talking about development, again, for those of you who are rocking with us, we have been in this UOU mastermind for 26 weeks. We are at the halfway point. This is our tribute, our testimony for our coach, the one who has put us on, who was not just our coach, but his whole team, his whole squad has transformed my life, my family's life, Ray's family life. And we are just excited to document this as our tribute to him. With that being said, y'all, let's go ahead and this is someone
There
that
are
you
no more timeouts.
what?
Again, there are no more do-overs.
Say what?
Like this is it.
Hold on, y'all. Hold on. Come on.
This is not a year that you're gonna be doing
Come
a lot
on.
of talking. Like this is it. This is the year for grinding.
Hold on.
Grind.
Come on, y'all. If you are in the chat, let's give it up for our
What's
coach, our
up?
mentor, the one and only, y'all, Dr. Eric Thomas.
What
Let's
up? What up? What
go.
up? What he done?
What's up, coach? What's going on?
Bless, man. Everybody well?
Everybody's blessed. We blessed.
Everybody, and if they weren't, they better be now.
They
That's
better
it.
be. Hey, I just got one question. And am I in the frame?
You are in the
You are
frame.
in
You
the
are in the
frame.
frame.
Beautiful. Talk
You
to
are
me, y'all.
center stage. You are
Y'all
center
was wax-
stage.
yeah, y'all was waxing deep, man. Talk to me. Jump me in. Get me in there.
Oh
So
yeah, yeah.
basically,
So go ahead, rock, kick it, bruh.
yeah, basically, we were just talking about how number one, we're 26 weeks in the mastermind, and we were just talking about the growth that we've had since the mastermind. And we said our special guest today is also part of the mastermind, is going to be sharing kind of what have we learned, what have we grown, what have we done. And one of the biggest takeaways for me that I was sharing was I got this opportunity to speak at Lucas Oil Stadium this November. I was jealous back in 2019 because I didn't have that opportunity. But what I told myself and what I learned now is that being in the mastermind said you would have spoke just to get more speaking opportunities. But now I'm speaking because now we have programs and trainings and we have ways to grow exponentially because of your leadership, because of your business model, because the traits of the greats. So I wasn't ready back then. It wasn't my time yet. It wasn't my time. And so last year, going through game changers, going through extreme execution, and just being enveloped in this community. I just came back from Cancun. Me and Daniel had 15-year wedding anniversary, and it was like Cancun. Cancun will never be the same for us because it reminds me of you preaching on the rocks. It reminds us of the phenomenal community that we've been blessed to be a part of. And so now I get it. Now I know why God said, no, not yet. Because now when you do speak, you're going to have a CRM setup. You're going to have a strategy. You're going to have follow up. You're going to have all the different things that I've learned in our community to continue, not just to grow what we're doing, but to make more impact. Because I said in my very, very first application to join Extreme Execution was to bring your work and who you are to the Catholic communities that I'm in so we can get you that Nobel Peace Prize. I got to put you up there with Mother Teresa. That's always will be my goal for why I want to continue to bring you and your work to the communities that I serve, flat out. Filipino community, my Catholic community, and everyone else that I touch, all the schools, all the programs, so that we can get you that Nobel Peace Prize. It's just that simple.
I love it, man. I love it. I'm so grateful, and when you say Nobel Prize, I just want people to know there are three things that I like to bring to this community when you talk about the mastermind and really assisting them is clarity. That's number one, and here's the cool thing. I didn't realize that people who don't have the slightest idea what they want to do in life need clarity, and the people who are killing the game in life need clarity. I thought clarity was just for people who didn't know what they wanted to do in life. And so, we got to give them clarity. We got to give them a sense of direction. But then I also realized people who killing the game need clarity. Uh, Rhy, Ray, I don't know if you've ever used, I don't know if this is just the Google app direction. I don't know if some of the other GPS systems do the same thing, but they give you alternative routes. The ones you guys use, they give you
Yep.
it's like, so it's not one route to take.
Like
There are
Waze.
multiple routes that you could take,
Yep. Like the
right?
Waze app.
Yeah. So some apps, it's toll roads. It's stay clear of toll roads. Some it's take the back route. Some it's the freeway with a combination of back roads, right? So sometimes it's three or four. And what's so beautiful is each one of them, they'll let you know, like, you want to take the shortest distance? Is that what you want? Like in terms of time, or do you want to avoid, traffic? Like, what's your thing? Do you want to catch the scenic boy? And so the first thing that I find that I've learned from doing the mastermind and being a part of it, because you are a professor and a teacher at the same time. And so the first thing I've discovered, and we could talk about the other two after, we squeeze all of the toothpaste out of this first one, is that we all need clarity. And what I've come to realize is the more clarity you have, the more confidence you have. So a lot of people who aren't confident, you aren't confident. I get it. You're not confident because you don't know what you're doing, right? You had the slightest idea where you're going. And so the more clarity you have, the more confidence you have. The more confidence you have, the the more people want to be in your community. Like, people don't want to be in a community where people are all lost. People want to be in a community where people are found. And then the final one is cash, currency. You would notice that your currency is different as your vision is clear. And so that's the first that just came to my mind when you were talking about the mastermind and what we've learned from the mastermind. I think we're getting daily clarity. We're getting weekly clarity. We're giving 30-day clarity. We're giving quarterly clarity. We're giving yearly clarity. Like, I think that's what we're doing for each other, is that we're hitting the clarity tree. And as a result of it, all of us are seeing a greater amount of success than we've ever seen before.
I love that. I love that. Man, it's like you said, man. The moment I started doing some math with Ryan. I always tell people don't do math in public, so I had to do a little bit internally, and I was like, "Yo, episode 26 is coming up."
Mm.
I was like, on our road to results, we need to do a middle of the road episode with E. It's not just to talk about what we've gained out of it, but also what you've gained from it, because we've been making and you've been making the adjustments as we've gone on. And what I love about it, because you've heard me say, I've said it so many times, I don't enjoy real estate. I didn't want to talk about it. And I remember you saying you never wanted to do a mastermind. This was something you never wanted to do, but in stepping into that space and place of actually running one, now hearing you in like this recent one, that like, this is where I got it. Like, I'm not reaching out to people that I just knew just because. Now I'm bringing in Melissa because she's producing, she's productive, she's in the mastermind, she's invested in me, I'm reinvesting in her. So you've been making the adjustments. So now that we're midway, is this where you saw it going? And if not, what adjustments were necessary? And then what ones do you think you're going to be making here moving forward?
So, so two things for that. So the first one is, of course, when you're doing something well and you do it at a high level, the returns are going to be greater than you expected, right? And so what I did not expect was the synergy of this crew. The synergy part. Us coming together and us supporting one another. The synergy part was phenomenal for me. The second thing was I did not realize that I was going to get as much as I gave. Now we all know the scripture: to the same measure that you give, it shall be given unto you, pressed down, shaken together, and running over. But I thought that meant, other opportunities would come to me. I would get certain gigs and certain doors would open because I was doing, you know, my daily diligence with this program than that other doors. I didn't know that the very thing I was pouring into was going to pour back into me with the level. So it's funny. Remember I told you guys, I met Warren Buffett through uh, what Dan Gilbert, and just like, just being in that environment. Well, one of the things that I realized that they were doing was creating businesses, venture capital. You know what I'm saying? So I saw it, but I didn't know that in this community is we would be doing venture capitalist, opportunities. I didn't know we would be starting businesses, incubators from people's ideas and us as a crew coming together. And I didn't know that this crew is going to help me write, you know, well, I'm gonna be real with y'all. I think this will be probably hands down one of the most impactful books I ever write. Why? Because it's 365 days. It's not just a book. It's like, no, I'm gonna be in your life for 365 days. Like, I'm gonna walk with you for 365 days. You're gonna get my energy for 365 days. Like, you're gonna feel you're gonna know how I did what I did for 365 days through the book, through the workbook, through the journal, through the audiobook, and then through the calendar, and then us meeting up. So yeah, this thing has created something that I didn't expect. And it has called me to be somebody that I didn't expect to be.
Can you expound on that a little bit more, E? I know you mentioned it to us in the group, but what if you could break that down for us?
Yeah, one of the things that it's caused me to do is be accountable to people in a way I don't want to be. The videos don't make me accountable to. I hear people all the time say, like, yo, I've been watching your videos. I feel like you my uncle from far away. Okay, I didn't know that I was your uncle from far away. Like, I didn't know, what I'm saying? Like, the connection that you had with me, I didn't have with you because you watching a video. So I don't have no connection to you other than the video. Like, I don't have a personal connection to you. Like, I don't know you personally. You don't know me personally. Like, but the mastermind is like, yo, another level of shepherding, like another level of accountability, like another level of being responsible. It's like, okay, I had my two kids, and I was like, I can't wait till they get older and they get out the crib. I'm gonna be a empty nester, and I'm not gonna have to be responsible for nobody else like I had to be. And it's like, that's not the truth. That's not the truth. You will have ultimately 100 people that you will be responsible for on a daily basis, bro. A daily basis. Now, it's real. I might have to catch a flight, or I might get sick, or something may happen. But the goal is, Sunday through Friday, we're there, with one another. And so I think that's the thing that blew my mind. So thus it's causing me to refine and develop my shepherding skills, meaning what? My ability to look after others, to care for others in a way that the average human doesn't care for others. Like, most people are just like, yo, bro, you on your own. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's your business, that's your wife, those your kids, that's your money, that's your career. I am literally responsible for a group of people saying, yo, I have to help you daily with your mindset, daily with the way you talking, daily with your behaviors. Like, I got to help you get organized. I got to help your perspective. And so, man, it's been rich. It's been rewarding because it's like you almost have to be what you preaching. Whereas if you ain't preaching, you don't have to be. Like there are things that I do feel like, oh, I'm gonna do this and that. But now, bro, like, I gotta keep my weight down. I got to get to my perfect shape. Well, I got people on here who are in the fitness industry. So, you know what I'm saying? I got people who are not consistent. So they need to see my face regularly. You know, I got people who have dreams and goals. And so as a CEO, I got to continue to, you know, make things happen so they can go, oh, our mentor was there. Our coach is doing this. Our coach is doing that. And more importantly, you know, in terms of my character, if they're going to continue to follow me with the intensity they follow me, you know, I can't get caught up in no dirt. Now, you know, people, you know what I'm saying? There's rumors all the time of people trying to dog people out when they succeed. But I'm saying, like, between me and God, I got to keep my nose clean. And so there's a pressure that sometimes when I'm someplace and I'm like, yo, my man just went off. I want to go off, but the camera's rolling. And somebody in the community going to be like, oh, well, Eek went off. So it's okay for us to go off. You know what I'm saying? So there's um, there's a level of self accountability that has enhanced and increased as a result of the mastermind.
I love it. It's crazy, right? Like how you used to get up at 3 a.m. years ago. Number one, always for you and God first and foremost. But then it was like you were preparing yourself for a gig or for to move. But now you have to redo the same thing, but it's because of the mastermind. Because you getting up for us and it's on a whole nother level. So I kind of see how that came full circle, but just it's looking different. But how do you, I'm curious to know, how do you, speaking of, shout out to Prime, Coach Prime, doing big things in Colorado. And I just thought about you in this moment, like, yo, what you are doing as a coach, because I know you've always coached couples and you've had coaching clients, but I feel like this is on a whole nother level of coaching. So how does that feel for you now, being regarded as, yes, mentor, pastor, friend, big bro, but now as coach ET? Because I'm always like, yo, that's my coach right there. Like, how is that hitting for you now with the mastermind?
Yeah, it just goes to show, you know, like God never gave you your gifts just for you. You know how you at one point in your life, you got these gifts, but you like, I gotta pay my mortgage, I gotta take care of my kids, I gotta, you know, then when you start coaching, you realize where I'm sure Prime does, it is the actual success I've had as an individual in different spaces and the losses I took in different spaces that are actually now going to allow me to prepare a group of people in a way that I couldn't have prepared them had I just gone to school. So now it's like an aha moment with even the creator, like, wow, I didn't even know. I didn't even know you wanted me to go through this for this individual or for this individual. So now I feel like a spiritual, a human development smorgasbord. You know what I'm saying? Where it's like I'm everything and putting it out for people to get what they want. Man, it's a great feeling, man. You think personal success is something? Wait till you start seeing how your success and the success of others and the grace of God is used to help people in a way that without those ingredients couldn't have made the type of success and the time frame they made the success. You know, it's unbelievable, bro.
Yeah, yeah. No, I love that you said as far as talking about your gift, like it's not for you. We did a episode, I don't know how many back, but titled "Your Gift is Not a Gift Unless You Give It Away."
Yeah,
And I wasn't gonna this wasn't in the plan, but just when you're talking about that and talking about the mastermind, I want to just kind of reflect on we had a member, a family member of the mastermind pass this
yeah,
year, and I think about the by embracing that and doing what God told you to do and being a gift and the gift you gave her and who you exposed her to in her last days. And that just, man, it just coming up October 1st will be officially a year that I've been retired from the Army. And over this year and then through this process and being in the mastermind, I realized how much, one, they weren't using my talents, but how much I wasn't fully like stepping into my gift as an individual. And which is why I've been so open. You may have noticed that I've been a little bit more quiet because I'm trying to be less of an aggressive a pilot and see how I can actually serve and help take people to where they want to go.
yeah,
And just
yeah,
you demonstrating that, like that for me, that hit huge in that capacity. The light that you gave her in her last days by being obedient, but just the exposure you gave her to do the thing that she's been wanting to do through the entirety of her life. Like the peace that she may have felt in those last days because of one, her willingness to join and follow whatever God put on her heart to be in the mastermind. But you say, okay, I never want to do a mastermind, but I'm gonna do it. But what you've been able to do, like it's more personal now.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's
I say this, and this may sound weird to people who are listening, but I've never taken much joy as I had in someone's death, knowing how much we did for her life. You know, there was no, real like gloom or darkness. It was more like, wow, what we were able to become to her. And I'm privileged as the coach to know the backstory. I haven't shared it with everybody because she didn't necessarily, in her living, she didn't give me permission. So in her death, I still honor uh, her desire to be discreet about what she was facing. But to know, like in her worst moments, we were there, that we gave her joy. And I'm so grateful we do it daily. That so we were able to be there for her daily. And then of course you guys talk to each other on the side. So it was other community members talking to her and pumping her up and, encouraging her, and then she got an opportunity to connect with my boy Joey Kibwe, at least a 5 or 6 time Grammy winner, and she got an opportunity to sing to him and listen. He listened to her songs and she read her lyrics to him, and he gave her some counsel, and she was able to use that counsel. And you just her daughter talked about her joy, her last days on this earth, how much joy she had being able to do what it was she felt she was called to do, and more importantly, man, we were able to build a relationship with her daughter. Her daughter started texting me from her mom's phone. We were in the she was in the hospital, and we were going back and forth, and I've been able to stay in touch with the daughter. And it's like, wow, we became family through this coaching program, not just client, became family, and we were able to support her and not have her leave this earth in isolation. Because remember, it was COVID. So because of her health conditions, she was locked in so she wouldn't die because of COVID. So man, oh, what a joy for her to know that she had a family that cared for her, a family that checked in on her. So this work, man, is this life's work. This godly work is, man, so humbling that God would allow me to be a leader or a coach to you guys when I'm not worthy to do it, but he chose me to do it. And so what a privilege and an honor, man, to go beyond just somebody being a client to that person being a friend, and then you being able to significantly bless that person's life.
Love it. Yeah, no, that's real. Again, for those of y'all watching us, this is the real deal. We talk about character over everything, and our mentor, our coach, our big bro has always been about that character first. I do have one question for you, coach. So, the flight assessment 2.0. Obviously, I love the flight assessment. I've been with it since 2019. It's a game changer for sure, and it's definitely a big part of the program, Reach Academy. Right, we're training emotional, intelligent leaders, youth ministry leaders, to authentically reach and engage their audience. Why was the flight assessment so important for you? Because we know why the powerful tool it is, but why was it so important for you to take the old flight assessment, rebrand it, and do what you did with it? Because I share with all the time, like how you broke it down, you made it simpler. But can you share with people, why was the flight assessment so important for you that you invested all your resources and time with Moose to make this thing what it is today, and where do you see it in the future?
Um, I was fortunate to get a GED and a PhD, and I understand the difference between the two in terms of people's willingness to engage. And you talk about a GED, I don't think nobody would be afraid. Many people won't be afraid, of taking a test that's on a high school level. A lot of people will shy away from a PhD because there's so much theory and it's just so robust, right? When I looked at the assessment in its conception, I was like, yo, this dope. But it was easy for me to say because I had been through academia. So I understood, a lot of the academic language, right, and the rigor of academia. But I was like, yo, this test is too powerful for it to be written in such a language, that would scare people away from wanting to embrace it. Like it's too dope. So I was like, yo, really at the end of the day, all it is language. So I can take the collegiate level language and simplify it to symbols and maybe fifth grade language to get people to understand and help them to embrace a tool that will be a playbook for everybody. Like, yo, when you think about France, oh, they speak French. When you think about Spain, Spanish, they speak Spanish. When you think about English, England, you think about English, right? So it is a language, and what that language does is it's a commonality that allows people to be able to communicate with each other and to be able to, be in a community with a person. So language is everything. So I was like, yo, we just need to strip this collegiate level language down to symbols, right? Because there are things that you automatically are familiar with when I say pilot. There's formal education. Like I don't have to educate you about a pilot and what a pilot does. You know what a flight attendant does. You know what a grounds crew does. You may or may not know what an air traffic controller is, but when we explain it, you'll get it. So there's formal knowledge that you have about these symbols. Little kids can't spell McDonald's, but they are familiar with the arch, the golden arches. So that's what successful institutions do or organizations do. They create symbols that have for knowledge. So I was like, oh no, let's just symbol this thing out. You know what I'm saying? Let's just symbol this thing out. And so as we do symbols, and then still the same synonyms and antonyms is just a language that people can understand. And so I felt it was important because this tool will revolutionize people. They will help people to understand who they are naturally. It'll help people understand who the people they love or work with are, or who on their team with. And then once we have a common understanding of who we are, then we know how to move to bring the best out of everybody. So I was like, yo, this tool has to be given to the world.
Love it, love it. Hey, Ian, we know we
Thank
want to
you.
be respectful of your time. You talk about a clarity and it brings confidence and we've mentioned before. With every level you get to, where you thought you were going
Yeah.
may not be exactly what it looks like. And as we've gone through this mastermind, we've seen the adjustments because as you've made moves, clarity was there initially. Is okay. Maybe it wasn't. We're gonna do the mastermind, and then I went back and listened to the episode. We're like, okay, hey, look, we're gonna listen. Meeting up once a week is not enough. We're gonna try to do every day, and Charles is gonna handle that. But now that we're midway through cohort one, I've seen us say once clarity brings confidence,
Yeah.
and then confidence should be creating conviction. Now
Yeah.
we have that conviction to continue to move forward. As we move forward and we're halfway through, middle of the road with E. And again, thank you for being here and pouring into these people because that's why me and Rhy started. It's like, hey, if you couldn't make it to the mastermind, don't miss the business model. Let us try to replicate and give some of these nuggets that we're getting to other people. But the conviction and the clarity moving forward. What midway adjustments do you plan on making that you are now convicted to? That I have to do this, that I have to keep doing this as my life's work. Have you seen? Is there clarity on why that's there?
Yeah. I was trying to find a word to use, but um, commanding is the word. You know, one of the things that I realize is I get it. And I often give people the independence to get it, but it's like I can't do that. Like I gotta be commanding. Like I know what works. We can't deviate from this. And I have to be more and say, hey, here is the loop. Here is the roadmap. Here is the route. Take it. You feel me? And oftentimes, it's uncomfortable, right? When you hear, Jesus saying, don't go to the left or to the right. You know what I'm saying? Like straight ahead is the way. You know what I'm saying? Narrow is the
Road is
way.
narrow.
You know what I'm
Yep.
saying? And I like that language, but it's like, yo, narrow is the way. You can't give people all this variation and all of these. They get to add they seasonings to it, and they get no. You got to be more commanding. You know what works. Independence in the wrong way has never been good. I always talk about Mayweather. He had his father. He didn't like it, but he had his father. Michael Jackson, them, they didn't like it, but they had their daddy. Tiger Woods, I don't know if he liked it or not, but he had his daddy. He didn't. It wasn't a lot of variation. And so the next move for me is stop worrying about people being comfortable with what you're saying and liking what you're saying and having a good experience with what you say. Help them get the results that they need.
Love it, love it, love it. All right. Well, listen. On this episode, E, we got your final thoughts. Road to results. What advice, final thoughts do you have for all those watching our pod right now in retrospect or in regards to the road to results?
Focus on results and you're going to get them. The reason why you're not getting results because something else is more important than results or as equally as important. Get the results. Get the results. Get the results. You'll have more time when you get the results. People will like you more when you get the results. People will give you more when you get the results. Your community will grow when you get the results. Everything else is going to happen when you get the results.
Results breed results.
That's it
Man,
right there, y'all.
again, just thank you. Thank you. If there's anything you already know, if you ever need anything from Rhy or Ray, we are always here. And just everybody, you heard it, a community, communication, clarity, like just conviction. All those things are necessary to on your journey. Remember, it is a journey. It is not a destination on this road to results. So, again, man, thank you for being here. Thank you for blessing us
Yes,
with your
sir.
presence, with your wisdom, with your knowledge, with your coaching, everything you've done for us. And
Everything
we'll
of who you
continue.
are. Thank you for being
Yeah,
who you
yeah.
are. We'll see you in October.
I
We're
see
gonna
you
be there
October.
in October.
Don't meet me there, beat me there.
Whoo! Don't beat me there, beat me there. All right, family.
And
And
he's
as
gone.
always, he dropping a new one on
He
us.
said, gone.
She said, "Don't meet me there, beat me there." Click. Ah. All right, y'all. So as we again, Ray and I are honored to just have y'all who are rocking with us, all of you who are with us live, all of you who watch the replays, all of you who share the podcast. But we just again, there's the two fellas here, two bros that just met through an amazing community led by ET, and we are just wanting to do our version of that. And I say our version, not like deviating like he said, but our version in the sense that the way we were called to do it by pouring in to those in our communities and those we serve in our way. So, like we always say, family, don't just go with us, grow with
Grow with us.
us. And we
Hey,
out
don't
here,
forget,
y'all.
R2R Summit, October 4th and
R2R
5th. We'll be
Summit.
having out the registration info soon. Hey, but we need to be moving into 2024 with momentum. We got to create some movement here in 2023 to have that momentum going to 2024. Love y'all. Thank you for
Love
being
y'all.
here. Share this while it's still up. While it's still up, it's going to be up to the end of the day. Then it's gone, and we probably won't be posted until about October 15th. So run
Let's
it, bro.
go.
To push me to break out. This pain will not break me. This pain will not define me. This pain will not destroy me. This pain will call me praise. This pain will not define me. This pain will not destroy me.